Joining us right now is the CEO of one of Berkshire companies that is celebrating, CEOs who's celebrating 1 year in that role. We want to bring in Adam Wright. He is the CEO of Pilot. And Adam, great to see you.
Thank you, Becky. It's great to be back. It's great to be back in Omaha, my hometown. My thoughts and prayers are obviously with everyone who's rebuilding after the tornadoes last year.
Yeah, those were devastating. I've seen a lot of footage from it. But it looks like people are up and ready to go, and things are going to go off as usual here.
That's right. Some normalcy helps.
Yeah, it does. Adam, I want to talk to you about everything you're doing at Pilot right now. So this is a company that Berkshire bought outright, bought the remaining tranche of it back in 2024. I think the final price paid was $2.6 billion. It was a 2023, a total of $13.5 billion to buy this company. Now you're in charge, and you are spending $1 billion renovating, changing, updating, remodeling things. What do you see on the ground? What has to be done?
Yeah, I think first we have a great brand. It's a 65-year-old company. We're in 44 states. We have more than 800 outlets, and it's a brand most people really haven't heard of until here recently with the acquisition from Berkshire. And we have an opportunity to upgrade our stores, and we're focused on doing that, investing $1 billion, like you said, to upgrade 400 of those locations, to bring them into the future, a much better guest experience, shopping experience. Want to make sure we're preparing for electrification of the transportation sector, so we're putting in EV chargers at several of those coast to coast. We just have to bring our stores up to really give a great guest experience.
What was kind of lacking in the guest experience before? Where are you focusing that money, at least in the stores, and then we'll talk about electrification?
Sure. Some of it's to bring food forward, just making sure we have a great deli experience. Others is making the aisles wider. They call them gondolas, but we're pretty cramped in there, so we're trying to give more space so that guests can move around the stores more freely, bringing our showers up to date. We do over 70,000 showers a day.
Because this is where truckers pull in. They're going to come in, have a meal, get refueled, take a shower, refreshed.
Right, exactly right. Pumps, parking lots, really just upgrading the whole aesthetics of the experience for the customer.
You know, trucking is a pretty major industry, an indicator of the economy. So what do you see right now, just in terms of how truckers are feeling, how much is moving, how much freight is moving on the highways?
Well, it's a tough time for truckers right now. Trucking's a tough industry generally. So you have a capital-intensive business, you have high turnover, you have low margin, it's cyclical, it's seasonal. If you have one or two of those in any business, it's probably going to be pretty challenging. Trucking has all of it. And we're in a pretty down cycle right now, mostly because freight rates. There's too much capacity from a trucking standpoint for the freight that needs to be moved. That depresses rates, and so it's making it very challenging for the large and the small truckers.
Is that because there's less freight that needs to be moved, or is this relative to pandemic level highs when a lot of stuff was moving?
We're actually starting to see inventory levels come back down. They were a little bit bloated coming out of the pandemic. Those are starting to return back to normal levels. So we do expect some of those inventory headwinds to start to move out of the way. It's really just an overcapacity. During COVID and the big boom, you could buy a truck and get high rates, $4 a mile. That allowed a lot of 1-2 fleet operators to come into play, and that really just created overcapacity. So now that has to work its way out, and then things will start to level out.
Okay, your background is in energy. You came from Berkshire Hathaway Energy, moved on to another company, but you really grew up in the energy industry. And what you're doing right now is trying to make sure, as you mentioned, that you are looking at all ways, whether that's going to be any sort of fuel or any charging levels. You've got a partnership with GM. What are you doing with that? What's the electrification and charging stations you're putting in?
Right. And so it's important for us to really be fuel agnostic and guest focused. And we want to keep up with the speed of value for our customers. So how is the economy moving, and what offering do our guests want? EVs clearly have made a significant run, and they continue to grow. And we think there's going to be demand despite some of the challenges here recently. Tesla,
we keep hearing about how there's not as much demand for EVs, and people would rather have hybrids. Have you seen that play out too?
We have, but I think it's going to push through. In one way or another, I think having charging infrastructure at our stores is going to be welcomed by EV owners. We see it. 40 to 50% increase in charging sessions and energy dispense on weekends and holidays.
Really?
So that says EV owners want to take their EVs from urban settings and take them across country. So we're starting to see an uptick in that. But our goal is to build out 2,000 chargers at 500 locations by 2026. We're making good progress, overcoming a few challenges and thinking through how to work with the multiple utilities across 44 states.
What are the challenges?
A lot of it's infrastructure, getting the infrastructure built on the utility side. A few of us just learning some of the technology and how to even price the electricity that we sell to make sure that it's economical for us and it's priced fairly for the customer. So we're working through that, but we're making a lot of headway, and I feel good about it.
How fast do the chargers charge? Are these superchargers? Are these ones that take a half an hour and somebody goes in and takes a shower in the meantime? What's your model that you look at it?
That's it. It's about that. 30 minutes, we want to be able to get up to an 80% charge. And so these are very fast chargers, 350 kilowatt chargers, if that means anything to anybody. But they are the fastest on the market right now. And the idea is that to give amenities to EV drivers that they customarily don't have.
So that the EV driver, if you're driving across country, is going to seek out one of your places and figure, I can get everything done there.
Right. And you have a canopy, so you can charge outside the elements. You can go in and get a hot meal. You can relax, walk around. Hopefully you buy some products to take with you the rest of the road trip.